This NFL Rookie of the Year edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at Underdog Fantasy using the promo code SGPN to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Sean, the season's officially started. 20.
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, just if you're watching on YouTube.com.
You want to get back?
/ Sports Gambling Podcast. So it was just
Spuds was in the way.
Well, turning Spuds' head to make way for the ultimate party animal himself from the Bottom Line Bombs, CJ Sullivan, aka the man in the box. What's happening, CJ?
What's up, fellas? Exciting weekend here. We had the draft, of course, and now we put it right into fruition here. The Rookie of the Year. This is exciting.
What better time than now?
Right.
As they say.
The way too early rankings for next year.
The NFL Rookie of the Year market is up.
Right.
Ryan, I think when we did this, the early version last year, we had a little Jared Verse action, if I recall. We were breaking down the idea, and I still think it kind of applies. Defensive Rookie of the Year, you generally want to be in the first round. Second half, edge rusher seems like that sweet spot.
I don't. Well, you're probably right because pedigree matters, but I think it's just pass rusher who's going to have an opportunity to get sacked.
Yeah.
Also, kind of, I feel like CJ's brought this up. You kind of have to be a little bit of a name brand. So on defense, that becomes more like where are the storylines coming from?
Well, there hasn't been. If you look at the history of the award, there's only been like a couple guys outside the first round that have won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think in the offensive side, there's a little bit more of a chance, but even like a guy like Puka Nacua, who is in the mix, almost got there, ultimately didn't. Like there's, because of fantasy, if you're a skill player, you get that perfect opportunity, you go nuts, maybe you have a shot there.
Well, I mean, so specifically with defense, I mean, great call reminding everyone that I did hit on Jared Verse last year.
Great call.
That was one of those where I'll never forget this. Early on in my time going out and doing the FFPC high stakes fantasy, the main guy always opens up the draft with a speech. And this one year I was quite young. He talks about this legend in the game, and he's telling this story about how the guy was just sending him like $100 check every week to avoid his wife from detecting the fact that he was paying all these fantasy dues. And it just ever since then, it's like that's the perfect way to play futures. That's just funny. Every week, pick a future. Yeah. Slide it away. Put in. Don't think about it. Just like kitty. Those. What were when we were younger? The CDs, right? You put the money away for a couple of years. Anyway, so it's got to be a pass rusher, right? I mean, I have the numbers in front of me, the history wise. It's like the outliers are everything else.
Yes. On April, I'm going back to the sheets again. Good reminder to get the Patreon. Not only to get if you haven't checked out the free watch along with the Dr. Phil episode that CJ was on, a lot of fun, but you get access to the sheet so you can go back and check out all our futures. And yes, on April 29th of last year, we gave out Jared Verse, both of us, Ryan, at 10-1. Yeah. I didn't have a ton of money on it.
I was celebrating a little harder when it happened.
Yeah, I didn't really have a ton of money on it.
It's what we call a account reloader.
But Darius Robinson, another one that we had that was maybe in the mix there, but so good times. Maybe we can run it back. CJ, what you were?
I was just saying it was a great call and reminding you that you guys hit the Jared Verse, not the actual Jared Verse call. The call was thank you for reminding us that we can bring up a tout.
The tout is important.
Shout out to Logan. We have to address this. One SGP employee has to fight in the 1 versus 100 gorilla battle. Who y'all sending out?
Oh wow. Just one? About 1 into 100.
Yeah.
Is this
so
some internet thing that's happening right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't pretend like you're not aware of the gorilla thing. Are you not aware of the gorilla thing?
Maybe no.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's
Tell me
insane
about
to
it.
not be aware of the gorilla thing.
This is worse than Colby and Woj.
Yeah, no, basically, like how have you been online?
I've seen the riddles with the various like pick a group of animals to defend you.
No, this is not it.
Yeah, okay.
It's a thing that literally everyone's talking about.
Okay.
I mean, Kay Adams, Ryan, is
Not my
weighing
algorithm.
in. Well, what are you doing?
I'm pretty proud of my algorithm right now.
Steffi Smalls
How dare you?
was promoting her episode on our show with the man in the box.
She brought me on to
talking about this very thing.
She brought me on to talk
How
gorilla.
is that not in your algorithm, Ryan?
Now you're making me look bad.
Yeah, well, because you're
gonna
fighting
make
back.
me deflect by just sharing a quick excerpt from me and Steph's text exchange over the weekend.
Yeah,
I wrote dart work. Dartisanal. She wrote back dartastic.
Dartastic.
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the producers behind the Stephanie Small shows, whoever they may be, conned me, but they brought me on and under the guise of draft grade analysis.
Yeah,
and it was nothing but gorilla and golf.
All right, so explain. So we picked one person to fight 100 gorillas.
No, so basically, a guy tweeted out, "Hey,
100 gentlemen,
100 gentlemen."
gorilla, yeah.
He used a different word. I'm guessing he's an African American.
No.
He used the N-word, saying 100 N-words versus one gorilla. I think we could get it done as long as everyone's committed to fighting the gorilla.
Stays focused, yeah.
So then there's been a ton of debates and ton of memes of the gorilla responding. Do you think 100 people 100 men could take down one silverback gorilla?
Easily.
Yeah, the answer, and someone who studies primates, I wrote this very long, in-depth article about, yeah, actually you could, but then CJ and I were talking about, yes, if 100, and the guy's original question was said, but if everyone's committed, that's the problem. You might find if the first two guys get their ass kicked, you might have some other people that are a little scared. And I was comparing it to, you know, when that landing craft, the door opens up and you're storming Omaha Beach. First couple guys,
they're gonna get hit.
Their odds aren't as good as the last guys in that 100.
Sure, and
I go ahead, CJ.
I was just saying, I think when they see the first people go down, and they're gonna go down viciously, some of the guys might take the gorilla's side. They might start saying, you know what, I know a winning team when I see one.
Look,
one Colby. I'll tell you who I'm not sending to the front line of a battle is Colby Dant, because that guy switches sides left and right. So Colby's off the list. But who else?
Yeah, I want some more wily. I wouldn't want brute strength. I don't want to fight gorilla with gorilla.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want more of a
thinking man's gorilla fighter. I would probably put Scott Reichel in there.
So here's what I would say.
Very analytical.
I was thinking more of a J Mark, someone who's kind of a wily part of the land.
A guy who builds his own RV.
I played rugby with a guy from Iowa. Very unassuming. He was very strong grip.
Right.
All right. J Mark's going to be tough.
Let me break this riddle though. And people have done this before, whatever. But the silverback's a bad example because they don't eat meat day to day. They're not killing things day to day. I don't think it would be a fierce, it wouldn't be a fierce fight at all. It would be like you're attacking an untrained, like an animal.
Who would be the most fierce? Silverback was never mentioned, by the way. That's just something he talks
any type of gorilla.
Gorilla.
You would want something obviously that hunts,
right?
Is instinctually a hunter, right? Like a pack of wolves versus 100 men.
Yeah,
a polar bear.
Right.
Polar bear would be.
Polar bear be rough for sure.
Joe Rogan recently posted a video of a guy, like a polar bear, chasing a dude with a rifle. The guy misses his shot and throws the rifle on the ground and jumps on a snowmobile and gets the fuck out of there.
I always love that rhyme system.
But as far as who I would send out to fight,
yes,
you need the irrational confidence guy, right?
Yeah.
And who is that?
That's a great question. I kind of think
Terrell has a ton of confidence.
I have a left field answer here.
Okay.
Ryan McKee.
Oh, producer of the Steffi Smalls show.
I would say like the highest compliment I could pay Ryan is the variance of types of character you could get. Like he's willing to push it all the way to the edge.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
you get enough shed powder in him, he'll fight anything.
He's not the kind. Now I don't know. I mean, I don't know about his physical fitness, but I think he's decent,
top notch.
Oh no, he'll die. But he'll go in there and he'll be one of the guys you're saying that'll.
You need length because the only way you're getting this done is you're choking it. you need someone
eventually
longer.
Their arms will
limbs.
wear down. If you put 5 guys on each arm,
that's my second choice.
Yeah,
Ryan Gilbert, hockey gambling.
Oh,
podcast.
he's very
He's got a height advantage, big reach,
6'7".
Yeah.
Now, famously, I brought this up on the Steph Small show. Mike Tyson, one time when he was a single man, he went on a date, and he rented out a zoo. He wanted to take his date out in the zoo, but he rented it out, obviously.
Classy.
Big celebrity. Doesn't want to be messed around in public. And he tried to convince the zookeepers to let him in the tiger cage. And he wanted to fight one of the tigers. And they were like, no, you can't do that. You know? And so that started a debate. I don't know if Tyson would win, but this is where I get this. I think after the first couple minutes of it with it, the other tigers would join Tyson's side. They would know they were real fierce. And they're like, you know what, we'll help you out.
I also do think that punching power, like you could. Now, I'm sure their necks are quite strong, but I do think I think Mike Tyson could knock out a gorilla.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. Like, what are these 100 men?
Prime Tyson.
Now, I don't think Tyson's knocking out a bear.
No.
Welcome to UAB had a good tweet. Let's see.
I was just gonna say I love the bear rhymes to remind you of what to do versus the other ones are like brown you lay down, black you fight back, white say goodnight.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do versus a polar bear.
I have one more animal too that would be even more, like a hippo.
Hippos are underrated killers.
Well, also, how is a human killing that with their bare hands?
Hippos have numbers.
Like, tell me how you're killing a hippo with your bare hands.
Well, come on. I mean, it's just like a pack of jackals. You have to jump on top, bring it down, and then bring it out.
Slowly
you could
beat
get
it
your
to
hand.
death.
Like you could choke a bear. You're not choking a hippo.
The hippo's neck is so strong, its jaws are so strong. Have you ever seen even just like a watermelon? Could you imagine what it does to a human skull? Just chop.
So you have to be wily. You have to put it like in a corner because they can't go backwards. So maybe they'll die of starvation or just delirious. You know what I mean? Because they don't know how to walk backwards. Kangaroos are like that as well.
That's a great question. Hardest animal to kill. Elephant's probably pretty hard to kill.
Elephant's pretty big motherfucker.
I don't think they were getting killed by much before.
But you could ride an elephant though. I mean, the other ones you won't be allowed to ride. And once you get on top of that, I mean, that's the thing.
You start punching in the head.
Yeah,
it's like it's gonna take a lot of blows.
Yeah.
We might need to bring Patty C out of retirement.
But I will.
The ultimate.
I will say, elephants are very nice with us. They don't nearly show how angry they can get. And when they do, it's like, okay, stop messing with this elephant.
Welcome to UAB. Tweeted out. Give me Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder, and Francis Ngannou.
Really?
We are taking out that gorilla.
No John Jones.
I think you need one of the Jones brothers.
Yeah,
just give me one of the Jones brothers.
Athleticism,
because he's a crazy mother effer. Yeah. The entire family, top-notch athletes and also insane.
Hopefully, the gorilla doesn't have Tyson Fury on his side, or
I was going to say
Wilder be knocked out.
Yeah, give me one of the Klitschko's, Tyson and John Jones. It feels like a pretty strong force.
Yeah, one of the Jones.
It's got to be John Jones because he was not only was he the greatest fight, like he literally basically didn't lose in the UFC and crazy as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's back. I didn't realize. Did you know he's back fighting?
He's back.
Oh well, he needs some money. It's that time.
Yeah, when you take
gotta get the bag. Literally,
fighters are very transparent.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk a little NFL offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Before we do, of course, shout out to Edge Boost. I was out in Arizona. I was using my Edge Boost card to get down on some apps, and Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. It's free to sign up. You do us a solid, you do yourself a solid. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and EdgeBoost will match that deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. And obviously, we'll get some NFL futures going down over at MyBookie. You got the MyBookie money bag, super fun, and you can they accept action from all over the world. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts using that sweet cryptocurrency. Head over to mybookie.ag. Use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN.
All right.
Kramer, let's talk. Let's talk.
Did a lot while you were talking, right? There.
Really? What were you doing?
I was just tuning some stuff up.
Okay,
working with some new digs.
Yeah.
Optimizing, polishing.
Speaking of which, before we start, I don't usually request a camera, but just in case this becomes a clip here.
Oh, solo. I like it.
In there, and there we are. That's fine. I am also the bet detective. You can stay in screen here, Ryan. I mean, for crying out loud, for the content. Wow. You know what I mean? I had to pull out something special. I'm also known as Narcovelli. Which is my bet detective, my undercover cop. And, I am, of course, the analog man. I bring the papers and the passion. And this was one of your ideas, Ryan. You said in order to keep things together, I got myself a trapper keeper.
Oh, look at this.
There it is. Trapper keeper with the palm trees.
That is right out of Miami Vice.
This is what the bet detective is on, the Narcovelli. And it still hits. Yeah.
That is
if you listen very carefully, though. That Velcro open. Now, it's a little more cumbersome than I remembered growing up. It comes up pretty big, but you got things filed in here. You got different folders I got labeled. So let me bring it out to my...
Oh, man.
Look at that. He's got multiple folders inside folders.
Oh, yeah, multiple folders.
He's got the Texans random sticker from the car wash made it.
I got the clipboard already attached on there.
CJ's online shopping history they must think you're
I feel like we need to.
Go ahead. What do we got here?
Oh, Kramer pulling something.
We need a good luck. We need a token for the trapper key.
Oh, for sure.
When Colby bought all these Mike Leach poker chips that are just sitting around, now we have a special commemorative chip for the trapper keeper.
Absolutely. I'll get that.
Like a card protector.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on right, too. I'm going to lock that in there and make sure I'm glue that in. I don't know which side I want, up or down, though. That's amazing.
We don't support Texas Tech, so I would probably it's a random Red Raiders poker chip.
I might have to get one of these, CJ. I like this layout. I like the
It's
spread.
amazing. It has all your folders. I already got a couple folders coming on Amazon on the way. And you get
Sean, imagine how
your
jealous.
Periodic tables are on there.
I just imagine rolling up to the Circa, setting down the sweet trapper keeper, working. All my futures organized.
For different sports.
Tickets.
Yeah. Now, I was thinking. I'm in my 40s. I don't remember if my dad ever bought a trapper keeper in his 40s or had a backpack to work. But we had different businesses,
And shout out to ZD Mills saying he's out in Vegas. Cheers from Vegas, fellas. Heading to Circuit shortly.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, when you're over there, obviously say hi to Derek. Let him know we sent you. He always loves hearing that. I'm not going to speak for Derek, but he's a very generous guy. Maybe you get a free drink off him.
Oh, if you letting Derek know that you're a big fan of us. Instant.
And you heard him or saw him on our shows.
Yeah,
that's the way to Derek's heart.
There you go.
Really? You heard of the Circa on Sports Game? Beautiful.
Makes us look good. Might hook you up.
Oh, 100. I mean, we've heard some pretty I mean, Sean, retell the story about the dudes that randomly got to go to a Raiders game.
Oh, that was great. We were just hanging out. It was after the VSiN show. Always a good time to say hi when we're out there. We're obviously out there more during NFL season and March, essentially up to March Madness. Summertime, we go out a little less frequently, but we will be out there. I don't want to do the big announcement, but the contest sign up weekend, maybe even before that, Ryan, probably figure out a reason to go out there. But yeah, we were hanging out. Two guys were walking by. They had just turned 21. They were out their first trip to Vegas, and they came by. And Derek goes, "Hey," or they recognized us. And we came up, we're chatting, and Derek saw that.
Brought him into the circle.
That they knew us, and he goes, "We're bringing you." He goes, "We're bringing you back in a couple weeks." I think they were Packers fans or something like that. What were their teams?
Was it Browns? Maybe.
Yeah, it was Browns.
Yeah.
The Browns were playing the Raiders, and they were coming back in a couple weeks, and they hooked him up with a hotel stay, and it was great.
Just Derek letting his employees know what's going to be happening.
So behind the scenes working out that logistics was very funny because everyone was pretty hammered, and then I have to send an email to everyone on the Circa side being like, "Hey, this is these guys' contact info. Derek promised them this," and Derek's like, "Yeah, I said a lot. Do whatever I said."
One of my favorite things was that email. I had eyeballs on that. Just him having to. I can imagine what. Derek's staff has to take on every day. Like, oh God, what did he promise this guy?
All right.
Yeah.
I will say that's the
dream.
The thing that Sean and I are exposed to most from being there every Friday is just the behind. Like we see the sausage get made.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the late night like to-dos are the most hilarious. Like just dudes on their phone frantically scrambling.
Well,
like,
the funniest was Ryan when they moved the NFL slot machine to the second floor,
Right.
and we complained to Derek. We're like, Derek, we love the
every time I
NFL
was
slot
like-
machine. It's right next to the VSiN studio.
Mhm.
We could rush out and play it.
No,
if
we
needed.
weren't that nice. I was like, this is
Derek,
not the right spot for the
Put
machine.
the foot down.
I was like, I can't watch the games up there.
And Derek loves the NFL. He loves action. Obviously, he can't play at his own casino, but he does enjoy watching people play the NFL slot machine.
Yep.
So we explained to him, "Hey, Derek, you got to move it back down." He's like, "You're lucky." One of the guys that works for him was the guy that was actually in charge. He was hanging out, and there was nothing funnier than like 1:30 a.m. this guy leaving a voice memo for himself. Reminder to move NFL slot machine for SGPN guys per Derek's instructions.
For these jerks.
Of all the cool things we've been able to do because of our audience and the show and the network, and getting someone to move a slot machine felt like the biggest power. Limo trips, whatever, this, that, all that's cool, but to have someone move a slot
That's a
machine
flex.
because you asked,
That's an
Decision
amazing
making.
biggest
flex.
biggest flex of all time.
All right.
Let's get into it.
You want to start with the offense or the defense?
Let's go offense.
All right. Anything big picture you want to talk about with the like who wins the award?
Sure. I mean, taking a look, it's a pretty quarterbacky award. Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud last 2 years, but then we did have Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, but then a nice Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray.
My takeaway was actually going to be it's less quarterbacky,
Though less quarterbacky than MVP.
you would think, and yeah, exactly. But the odds,
but still decently quarterbacky.
yeah,
But this year, I think what's interesting is one,
it's not that at all.
the non-quarterbacks are obviously way more interesting this year than previous years, just based on the draft capital that people spent on the picks. And then I do think there are a couple rookie quarterbacks who have a path to start for the majority of the year for teams that have a chance to get to the playoffs.
Down the board.
I think those dart throws are way more live than previous years. Because if a guy like Will Howard wins the starting job at the Steelers and the Steelers get into the playoffs like they do every single year.
You want to just start right there?
Yeah.
Mark Will Howard down.
I was gonna say, geez, that's
How do you not?
I didn't shop this very hard, but 70-1 over at the
That's
Blue Book.
awesome. Yeah, that's a great call.
Because again, the Steelers make the playoffs every year.
The only way this price gets worse is if they sign someone.
Yeah, put me down for that.
Yeah, if they sign Rodgers,
I mean, come on.
if they sign Rodgers, fine. But
Sold.
Rodgers even if he does sign there, is he a lock to start all 17 games with his health and his age and all that stuff? And the Steelers are going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
That to me is just a
You're right.
dunk.
For him to be 70-1, and not to take the words out of your mouth, a Jackson dart throw, if you will, to be 22-1.
I'm gonna have so much fun this.
Sounds crazy though. Because, because Dart's not getting ahead of Russell and Winston. Like, I mean, there's just no way.
I would advise no one to take that.
Right.
They would prefer to not play him for a little.
That's
bit.
what I mean.
And so Russ is. I'd say
his price is insane.
Pencil Russ for 8 to 10. Russ plus Jameis for like 8 to 12 games minimum.
Well, and Jackson Dart might not be on the active roster week 1.
Right. That's what I'm saying. For him to be 22,
I don't even think that
and
would
Howard
be
70.
Like whatever that.
No, that's what their design is.
The
for him not to
third-
be on the active.
the
roster.
third emergency quarterback spot. So for you to win Rookie of the Year as a quarterback, I think you got to start probably at least 10, 11 games.
Yeah.
And you have to have some of these top guys kind of fail.
So who are the other quarterbacks?
That are long shots or just quarterbacks in general?
I mean, I'll just
pull
pull up a list of the quarterbacks we can run through them. So, Cam Ward, obviously the chalk plus 380.
Unbettable.
Any value
Not
there.
interested.
Unbettable.
Not interested.
So in general with these awards, trying to avoid especially on the offensive side.
Right.
All right. We just talked about Dart. Tyler Shuck.
Now that's one I like. I mean, he's going to start, right?
Great question. He's 20-1, which is in the range of probably going to be like
20-1. I see him as a starter.
Contender, yeah.
And he's the most quarterback ready. They say, of course, of any of those quarterbacks.
He's old as
NFL
shit.
ready. But like I said, you better be the most NFL ready. Yeah, you're 27 years old. You're in the same class with Trevor Lawrence, for crying out loud. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how you don't play Shock.
I think also in this
At
calculus
20-1.
is, can you win more games than Cam Ward? Because using that as the benchmark, since he's the chalk, I think that's not to go back to Will Howard, but the Steelers win 9 games every year. So like the idea that they're going to win more games than the Titans, I like that a lot. The Saints is a little harder for me to get there.
Yeah, the Saints, it's them as a team isn't as exciting. So I think his path to starting,
They don't have weapons.
yeah,
They don't have like their offense to me is like not the kind of offense you want to be in as a rookie quarterback.
I don't know. It sounds dumb, but what are
I like the angle and I like the guy.
I'm going to stay away just
I
because
don't like the situation.
That's why I'm laughing, because I'm watching the live SGPN draft SGPN draft board.
I had it. I was going to make a case for it, but now that we're thinking it out,
And it seems after I talked, oh, Sean's got a Shock bet. That favorite bet. Oh, and it disappeared like the Back to the Future photo. It just started disintegrating in front of us.
I would say this because so his path to being a starting quarterback is pretty decent, but then he's still got to also get to the playoffs.
Pretty decent. Who's he fighting against?
Spencer Rattler.
Okay, like I said, who's he fighting against?
I saw
I mean, that's over. It's his path to be the starting quarterback, and they have enough weapons. Like, that's crazy. What are we talking about here? You're talking about a 500 ball club every year here with the Saints, and they have enough weapons.
The NFC South.
Yeah, it's the NFC South. They still got. I mean, come on now, Olave, Kamara.
All right, I'm back in. I'm back in.
You tell me they don't
But
have weapons?
I just compared to
enough weapons
compared to Will Howard at 70-1.
No, I absolutely.
Derek Carr.
But there's a chance. There's a chance Will Howard's not your starting quarterback. You know, for sure. I don't think there's any chance that Tyler Shock is not your starting quarterback unless he just can't do it. They're not playing Spencer Rattler ahead of him.
Derek,
if they can help it.
I have a Derek Carr update.
Okay.
I saw him giving a speech.
I heard
a testimony, sir. He was preaching.
He's gonna play, right?
To the book of Instagram, whatever. He's talking about. Don't listen to internet rumors. Okay, we're at church. What are you talking about, Derek
I
Carr?
will still join.
He was calling out Diana Rossini in his church speech. It was very weird. I do have a shoulder injury. I'm talking with the team about it. Like, hey, I'm here for church.
No,
I don't. I don't care about your workplace dispute. But it was very, very weird. He was calling out the haters.
I will say though, at 20-1, I think even though I don't like because I'm gonna end up being higher on the Panthers. I'll join you though because the price is right. Because like CJ is saying, if they go 8-9 or 9-8, he can win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, 100%.
I will also add Ryan Quinn.
Yeah, I was gonna say
200-1.
Okay, yeah, jumping ahead.
Or what? Or you were what other?
I was just walking down the draft order. Jalen Milroe.
Yeah. No.
Jalen Milroe's
absolutely not.
No. 75-1.
You can't. I mean, I don't understand this Jalen Milroe fascination anyway. But even if he is a prospect, it's not going to be this year. Let's just say they make him start week 1. Have you watched the tape on him? Did you watch it? You watched Alabama. His passes were horrible. He was terrible, and he had every opportunity. I know he's fast. I know he's a great athlete, but he's a project at best.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, considering some of the prices you're getting on some of these other guys, and they paid Sam Darnold.
But if Sam Darnold gets hurt because he takes a hit, or
I guess I'm also just not high on the Seahawks in general.
See, I actually think, what if he comes out and can run the shit out of the rock?
Well,
and
that
they
is
have a
true.
good defense?
The running quarterbacks obviously have a literal leg up on the rest of the guys because
this one.
It's easier to.
Oh, Sam Darnold's the only thing in the way of me in a 75-1.
I mean, I like the 75-1. I like the price.
Yeah.
I like his athleticism.
We love the price.
I don't like him playing the position of quarterback.
Yeah, I think CJ's right. He probably needs more development, but this is a defense plays well. He puts up a ton of rushing yards and touchdowns. Maybe he leads Sean, reminder, Jalen Milroe to lead the league
in rushing touchdowns.
Oh yeah.
That is something I might consider betting. Because they might have some goal line packages.
Let's note that in the sheet. Dylan Gabriel, which 80-1.
It's kind of interesting just for the similar idea of
good offense, good offensive structure. The guy that the offensive coordinator picked to be his backup, I think it's Flacco's job. I mean,
yeah.
I think the reality,
but also like how many games is Flacco going to start?
But is
Five before he gets hurt?
But you also have Pickett, who is a seasoned
they
backup.
said Pickett might not make the team.
It would make sense to not keep him, considering you just drafted 2 guys.
The concern is it does seem like vibes wise, the owner went out of their way to draft.
Yeah, I'm not taking this one.
And you're also betting on the Browns.
Not taking this.
And Dylan Gabriel's not an NFL quarterback.
That's also true. Like if he was a little bit high, if I thought he was a little more interesting as a prospect, I could maybe talk myself into the situation at 80-1. But
it's hilarious that he's 80-1 and Shador is whatever he is, 25 or whatever.
25-1.
And
they drafted Gabriel
in the third round because that showed what that pick was. Once the Browns drafted Dylan Gabriel, that's when the narrative of the NFL draft's like, okay, it's not about football anymore with Shador. No. There's obviously something up where they don't like Shador, where they're drafting people like Dylan Gabriel ahead of him. That's when everyone's like, oh, good God. He just shouldn't be an NFL. He's not an NFL prospect.
Yeah.
It was crazy to draft him in the 3rd round.
I mean, I think he's got
it's a waste of a pick.
Bo Nix ceiling.
What?
He's like a slightly poor man's Bo Nix.
That's a reach.
Dylan Gabriel.
I don't know.
That's a very
you're insulting my boy Bo Nix, Ryan.
I'm just obviously there. Bo Nix was a 1st round pick and he was a 3rd round pick.
He'll make.
That's the in structure in the Stefanski offense. It could work. They'll have a good defense.
We will welcome him in the Memphis Showboat. Shador NFL guru.
So Shador Sanders 25-1.
No
hard pass,
no
right?
Thanks.
Kyle Honda.
Can I step back real quick on Shador Sanders here?
Sure.
I think it's a good path that he becomes a starter, obviously, for the Browns.
Okay.
The narrative was so negative with him in the meeting, what he just went through in the draft week, that I think maybe they want to have, there's going to be a push to make it up to him.
The charity vote.
Yeah, charity vote for the press want to make it up for him because of what he went through. To go through that and to turn it around to go full circle to become Rookie of the Year, the story writes itself.
He is more. I mean,
they would love
the narrative. Is
the
perfect.
One thing you would say about him is he's as NFL ready as most of these guys because he was running an NFL offense there with Shermer,
and he can start on the Browns.
And I do think the Stefanski offense is an offense that lends itself to Shador. Like what Shador could do or what he was doing at Colorado, I think
I want nothing to do with this.
Kind of makes sense. The problem is the price. If this needs to be like 50-1, right? Because it still involves him winning the job over everyone else, really dedicating himself to the craft, which when he's like showing up.
See, that's the narrative I'm talking about right now. It's media members like you that push this to begin with.
Not what was he was listening to taking phone calls during his interview. I like the idea that it lights a fire under his ass, and he really
it humbled him.
Hopefully it does, and hopefully he rocks out. But that being said, for me to be talked into this, 25-1, yeah, no thanks.
Well, he was 40-1 the night before he got drafted by the Browns.
Yeah,
I'll say that. And
then he dropped.
Well, yeah, and I do think there's a pretty good path for him to be the starting quarterback for the Browns.
It does seem like ownership wants him to start.
Yeah.
That being said, there's just too many quarterbacks on this team,
right? And
then even when they get him going, the weapons around him.
Fair enough.
The narrative is there.
That's what I mean.
I think if you're just looking off narratives, that makes a ton of sense. But the price we need a little higher, I think.
Okay.
This is after he got drafted in the 5th round.
He is as a lot of him and Quinn Ewers are taking pay cuts. It seems like they would have been able to make a lot more money this year. It feels like
that almost looks like they're recreating like a Biggie and Tupac sign,
it's very strange.
meeting together or something.
But seriously,
like
whole contract is in that box.
Yeah.
Right. Like what's this clown doing?
Well, his second contract's around his neck.
I don't understand.
I mean, he's got like Gatorade endorsements, so he doesn't really need his salary from the Browns.
Wild. All right.
The Quinn Ewers thing is fascinating. You said that you mentioned,
Yeah.
because he made the mistake. Well, not mistake. They always say, don't be afraid to gamble on yourself, and that's what Quinn Ewers did when he entered the draft. He gambled on himself. What they don't tell you is that you can lose a lot of times when you bet on yourself.
Well, he was the odds-on favorite going into this college football season to be the #1 pick overall.
Such
Insane.
a bad.
But he had another year of eligibility.
Yeah.
He would have got at least $4 million, and now he's in the 7th round.
Why would
pick.
he not? Yeah,
It's understandable. These guys, especially while the getting's good right now, you have to just suck
because
this
next
thing
year's
dry.
class is better.
but also
Who cares?
Like if you're Shador, at least you could see, okay, people talked you up and you got enough hype that it made sense to leave for the draft. Who is Quinn Ewers talking to that was like, get drafted now? All that being said, 200 to 1 for Liam Cohen, who is not tied to Trevor Lawrence, aka Travis Lawrence, at all, and they want exciting plays. What if Quinn Ewers and Travis Hunter instantly have some chemistry, and Quinn Ewers?
Hold on, he got drafted by the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna blow your whole case up.
No. The case
Make your case stronger.
all right.
Tua gets hurt.
Take two.
But what if he comes in there? They're not tied to Tua at all. And what if he has great chemistry with Tyreek Hill?
They're not tied
Jalen
to
Waddle. Well, they're tied to him contract wise.
They signed him for a
Tua's
lot
not
of money.
tied to this earth.
So, so much that they can't afford a backup for the Tua, and they get a tackle to protect him.
But
yeah.
Quinn Ewers getting in early and that Miami offense.
Sure.
All it takes at 200 to 1. Of course, I'm gonna have a small sprinkle on Quinn Ewers. Come on.
All right.
$5 to win $1,000 for Tua to get hurt and the offense to look good.
I don't hate the take. Tua needs to miss like the whole season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has he missed whole seasons before?
Yeah, and Quinn Ewers is.
I love the argument they said of why he went to the draft. It was like, well, maybe he's got enough money, which is the reverse reason. Yeah, he's a white guy. He's got money. Didn't you see all the dead animals on his wall in his family's house?
Oh my God, so many.
So
Pretty
many
wild. It was out of control. It was almost like
it really was.
Like when you go in the house where the wife clearly likes like posting pictures on her wall, like Facebook. They're just everywhere. That's that, but dude version.
Oh, my God.
All right, rapid fire. Kyle McCord.
No. Come on.
No.
Kyle McCord.
Riley Leonard, only behind Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Any interest there?
Steph Small says they have a fetish almost for this type of
sure.
quarterback.
Really do.
Yeah.
Dumb quarterbacks. Graham Ertz, Texans.
No.
Tommy
Nope.
Millott. No, Montana State.
Nope.
Cam Miller for the Las Vegas Raiders. Sean. Now we know in his last stop, which do we not even have odds for this guy? I'm gonna have to look. In his last stop, we know
He is off the board.
In his last stop, we know that after signing a guy and having a guy, they drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. They played. This is like a fullback at quarterback. Pete Carroll just run like and Chip Kelly running.
I'll probably have him a first touchdown bet on Cam Miller at some point this season.
Note that.
No, put it in notes.
You also got Aiden O'Connell. I don't see it happening.
All right, and Curtis Rourke. That's the last.
I'm going to put all the notes in the Trapper Keeper.
All right, so that so
A sound drop of that Velcro opening.
Oh, great.
The obviously it's access to this award for the running backs and receivers this year might be easier because the quarterback class is a little weaker.
Yeah. Wait, did you find odds for Curtis Rourke? Right.
For Rourke or for Cam Miller?
Cam Miller and Rourke, I don't see on your sheet.
Yeah, I must not have. Let me see. I didn't notice that guys were missing. There were so many names.
So many names.
They decided to leave him off. Do you have that?
Let me see if I can try and track down some Curtis Rourke offensive rookie.
Yeah.
Well, because his case is almost that of Brock Purdy, right?
Who do they have other than Brock Purdy right now?
I don't know off the top of my head, but again, Brock Purdy has had health issues. They do have Mac Jones in there, which Curtis Rourke could hop over that guy, no problem.
All right, these are non-serious candidates.
Yeah, let's get.
I don't see the name. All right, but yeah. So because the quarterback, like Cam Ward, being on potentially a really bad team, and the other quarterbacks maybe not having a starting job, it does seem like there's much better access for some of these receivers and running backs.
Yeah,
So
the fun ones.
which one? Who do you like, CJ? You can start. You're chomping at the bit. who do you like,
I like
out of the skill positions?
I like too many of them. Too many.
So start
sure.
big. Start big. Give us a big one.
A big one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for crying out loud, there's no way I'm not going to have any Scatterboo investments for crying out loud at 100
to 1. Are you kidding me?
Count me out.
I mean, 100 to 1 is insane for that.
He's probably not going to win it, but I'm with you. I want a Cam Scatterboo paper ticket.
But a 200 to 1 I'm looking at right here, and that's a wide receiver for Seattle, Torrey Horton. If you looked at his tape at Colorado State, you're like, oh, he's a first round pick. He looked like an NFL wide receiver, and he slipped because of an injury, which he's recovered from. I mean, he played half the games. In Seattle, they need wide receivers. He has a very easily path to starting next to JSN. Torrey Horton is a great wide receiver. I think is a steal. I love him at 200 to 1.
Got Cooper Kupp there too.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Kupp just moves the chains, baby.
Yeah.
Horton's going to stretch you out deep and with JSN out wide. I mean,
I like it.
I love it. Play action. That's what Sam Darnold does.
Yeah, you need the weather to
wait
stay
till Milroe gets in there and we have a connection. They have that connection going on. You can't.
With no DK Metcalf and you're competing with JSN and MVS
or Lockett.
Yeah, or Lockett. And you got. I mean, you're going head to head with Jake Bobo. You know, Horton having a. You know what? I like this cap, CJ. I'm going to throw on a Horton 200 to 1.
Why not? I mean, if you just look at it, if you just watch his game highlights, you know, for Colorado State, like we watched full games with him. He looked.
Oh, he is a fun player to watch.
He was head and shoulders above everyone on the field.
I like the cap, so it just hits harder. All right, so I'll give you someone.
Okay.
150 to 1. Did you hear the way that Sean Payton was talking about Pat Bryant?
No, I did not.
Sean, did you hear?
No.
The way that Sean Payton, like I mentioned on the last show, you should listen to the Sean Payton post draft presser because he really gets rock hard over his draft picks. You could probably put RJ Harvey on the list too, but Pat Bryant, the wide receiver out of Illinois, he was talking about him like a Michael Thomas situation, and RJ Harvey is going to be the Kamara.
Yeah.
It seems very likely that one of those guys could have a insane amount of usage.
So you're betting on both, or what are you doing?
Oh yeah, give me Bryant at 150 to 1 and running back RJ Harvey at 30 to 1.
You got to like RJ Harvey. I mean, he has a good chance to be the lead back, although he's kind of a smaller like playmaker kind of a guy. But what's he at?
Tried it with McLaughlin. He's a much better version of that 30 to 1. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take RJ Harvey for 30.
Sean,
I'll throw a sprinkle on Harvey.
We start drafting him in your with your Bo Nix stacks.
No, because clearly he brings in guys that maybe the rest of the NFL doesn't feel great about, but they fit. Sean Payton knows what kind of guys he likes. Yeah. He's got a type.
Yeah, he
sticks to his type.
He's got his dudes.
I have another 200 to 1 if you.
Okay.
Throw it out there, CJ.
I mean, just because we're looking at the 200s.
Scrolling down.
Speaking of needing weapons down in New Orleans and that new Kellen Moore offense, how about Devin Neal, a running back they drafted out there? Who Kamara's 31 years old.
Yep.
They're gonna have to replace him. I mean, obviously not replace him, but he can easily get banged up. Devin Neal is a guy who can make a lot of plays in that, especially in this Kellen Moore offense, with a veteran quarterback like Tyler Shuck out there, 28 years old. 200 to 1, I think is a crazy price for a guy who can be the featured back.
Yeah. So the path for running back is like, I think the last running back to do it was Barkley. And so you got to make you got to put highlights.
Yeah.
Plus touchdown production is usually the easiest path. Okay. And the quarterback sucking. But I think this is a year to hit some running back bullets for sure. Anyone else you like, Sean? Harold Fannin Jr. at 150 to 1. Maybe?
No, tight ends never win rookie of the year.
There's some good tight ends, but you're right about that.
Yeah,
any receivers? Buka. Although, dude, Caleb Johnson, another 30 to 1 running back, is quite interesting, but I'm passing on him.
He's one of my favorite ones, but 30 to 1. He's just not as fun as a 200 to 1.
Well, and
I agree.
Yeah, and you look at the chalk, like I don't think none of the chalk is that interesting. Gene T at 270, Cam Ward at plus 380, Travis Hunter at plus 750. He might not even be like a full-time offensive player.
Right. I think he's gonna be.
But like just the way you said it though with Caleb Johnson, I mean, on the Steelers. Apparently, they hate Jalen Warren for some reason. And he is a typical Steeler running back. He got value on him. He's a powerhouse. He can lock up those touchdowns. If he's a starting running back, tossing an Aaron Rodgers in there, you got a playoff team with a rookie running back with 14 touchdowns.
Nice hedge off the Will Howard play too.
Yeah.
now that you mention it.
I mean, definitely lock me up. He was my number one play coming in, Caleb Johnson.
Well, all right. So, but to answer your question, Sean, for receiver, you look at some of the guys who have won the award recently.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, number 1 on his team. Okay. Jamar Chase, number 1 on his team.
Those are both what, top 10 picks too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where we're going to get to Travis Hunter and Tet McMillan. Those really the only guys that fit the profile of top, pedigree plus will be the number 1 on their team.
Tet McMillan feels like he has a pretty good path.
Yeah.
I feel like the people are going to, I don't know, be eating up that Panthers offense.
Travis Hunter scores like 14.
Travis Hunter's really exciting.
Even if they
also too, it's interesting because I feel like, let's say it goes down where he is full-time offense, but then he has a couple interceptions and a pick 6 or something. Wouldn't they kind of give him credit for it?
Oh yeah. I mean, if he plays really well both ways, he's going to win. I saw you can bet
he wins both, which would be insane.
Both was 50 to 1. Probably not the best price, but either plus 350.
But that's the angle. Well, that's funny. But I think they're only going to give him either. But if they do, it's because of what he did on the other side. Even if that's not how they should vote, that they're going to we got to give him something.
If the guy scores 3 extra touchdowns, like every other position would get credit for those touchdowns on the stat sheet. So
you're right. Well, he's going to be interesting in fantasy.
Return touchdowns don't count.
If you're
now.
starting him as a receiver and he has a pick 6, do you get a touchdown?
Well, assuming your league has action scoring,
just like kick returns. Yeah. If it's your guy, it's your guy.
Yahoo might.
So here's the thing, though. But Travis Hunter, like you said, he'll probably be the number 2 wide receiver, obviously on Jacksonville. But he will be doing so much. That's why I'd rather have a guy like Jaden Higgins, who will be the number 2, but an explosive offense as well there with Stroud. What's his number? Like 40 to 1?
40 to 1.
See, I'd rather play that than I would someone like Travis Hunter. Although I do say with the narrative of playing both ways.
Serial in the chat threw out a Buka on that Bucks offense.
We were high on McMillan last year, Sean. Yeah. So it's the same logic.
But now they do have McMillan, they have Godwin, they have Evans.
He's only 35 to 1. Again, he's not going to be the number 1.
Yeah, I need a better number for that.
Yeah, I see the case, but
Higgins I like because he will be the number 2 on an offense that I think is going to have a big rebound from last year, getting rid of their coordinator. And Stroud's going. There'll be plenty of balls to go around. I'm saying for Jaden Higgins at 40 to 1.
So I mean, yeah, and honestly, the best way to dig into this stuff sometimes is just look at what the nerds are doing in the fantasy streets.
Okay.
Sean, do you want to know?
Well, our Packers buddy Ryan saying Matthew Golden. Absolutely what do you think about Golden, Kramer?
I see it. I wish there was a better quarterback there for him to throw the ball, but.
Oh man,
20 to 1. They also have a ton of mouths to feed.
They have a ton of
it's tough to win Rookie of the Year if you're not the number 1 option on your team. I mean, that's like walk through it. Tet McMillan has a chance to be the number 1 option. Travis Hunter,
number 2.
Travis Hunter, I think is interesting just because of, as we described, kind of like the other scenarios. I still wouldn't play him.
Tyler Warren fits the model in my mind. Tight ends don't win the award, but he could be the number 1 on that team. All right, last thing before we move to the defense.
Yep.
So typically, it's like offensive rookie of the year is a little bit like fantasy football rankings, right? Or the offensive player of the year, where like the fantasy superstar is the one who's going to get the award. Here are the consensus rankings right now for rookies, Sean. Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, who we didn't really talk about at all. Travis Hunter, T-Mac, as he wants to be called. Trevion Henderson up in New England. Didn't really talk about him. Junkins in Cleveland, which that is kind of interesting.
Junkins I like.
At the offense, I guess we have to trust it'll be good. Ibuka, number 7, Warren 8, Caleb Johnson in Pittsburgh, number 9, Colston Loveland 10, RJ Harvey 11, and Matthew Golden 12. Yeah, Cam Ward down.
We didn't really break down Loveland again. I think you just stay away from tight ends.
No, I don't want no parts of Loveland. You could, especially with Komet still there. I mean, That's wild. I like him as a player, and I like him on the Bears, but no way.
Well, I mean, it is crazy we're saying no way tight ends because Brock Bowers in a lot of years probably would have been offensive rookie of the year.
True.
So,
Sean,
100%.
Liam Cohen just did what?
Duval.
What did he just do with his offense in Tampa with switching to Bucky Irving and looking how good Bucky Irving looked? What if the tugboat Tootin pick? What if he takes over the
love
full-time?
tugboat Tootin? What's his number?
What his number's got to be crazy.
Whatever it is, put us down.
Yeah,
I love
200 to 1.
200 to 1. Yes.
How do you spell his last name?
T-U-T-E-N. Toots.
And shout out. He went to NCA&T by way of Virginia Tech.
Love it.
I didn't see enough. I didn't see much coverage of his name being tugboat. It's one of the better nicknames in sport. All right. Any other positions, guys?
All they wanted to do is talk about Shador, not enough about the nickname being tugboat.
Yeah. Josh Simmons, you can get for 300 to 1. They're putting tackles on the list.
No,
that's great.
No,
all right.
That's where you've gone too far.
One more.
Sure.
Long shot.
And we didn't even mention Ginty with 271.
Is there not a number on him?
We mentioned.
Who are you looking for? We might not have a number.
Did we already mention it? Kansas City's Brashard Smith?
No, we didn't.
I mean, what are we talking about? Pacheco being in the way of this guy over Kansas City running back?
Yeah, I don't think I have odds for him.
I know. I don't think I can see a number for him either, but I'll just toss that out there. Brashard Smith. Keep an eye.
All right.
A flyer among flyers. Kansas City running back.
All right. We sprayed the board, as they say.
We sprayed the board. The putter got hot.
Yeah.
Hey, sign up over at underdogfantasy.com. Get in and get a little bonus action. Best Ball Mania is upon us. Kramer and I are going to be firing up the old Best Ball Mania draft. $2 million to first, $1 million to second, and you get up to $1,000 in bonus credit. So you could have deposit over on Underdog Fantasy, use our promo code, and you could have what 50. What's the entry fee, Ryan? $25 for Best Ball Mania.
20 or 25.
Either way, you're looking at what 40, or if you max out the bonus, 40 or 50 free shots to become a multi or regular millionaire if you get second place. Live the dream, and they're super fun to do this far out, especially just after drafting. Kramer and I are going to be firing up some Underdog Fantasy Draft. Also, get in on the pick. 25. So 40, you could max out 40 essential free rolls at winning $1 million.
Sean, they also have the eliminator going for $10. That's essentially a full season bracket.
Awesome.
That seems really fun.
Yeah.
That's a new format.
200K to first. You have the weeks 1 through 17, all the points cumulative. The marathon, that's a $15 100K to first.
Now the best ball is fun because you just draft your team. You don't have to manage them, but the sweat doesn't really happen until those last few weeks where things are getting interesting. Eliminator sounds great because it's like regular fantasy. You're going head to head, but you don't have to manage the thing, and you know who you're going up against. So you have stuff you can root against. Whereas once you're doing regular Best Ball Mania, you don't have any. You don't really root against it.
It's a weird strategy though, because you guys got to keep winning. You can do the $500 big dog, 200K to first in that one. So you get 2 entries. That you want 200 entries in the puppy, Sean? $5. 100K to first.
Yeah, a lot of ways to take advantage of.
They even have a $3 schnauzer now. 100K to first, and they're running back weekly winners.
Oh, weekly winners also super fun. So a lot of ways to win.
Yeah.
Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN, and of course we're also brought to you by Rhythm, your home for the NBA playoffs. MLB Rhythm is killing it with the props. Highly recommend firing up Rhythm and playing around. Building your own NBA model can be super fun, super easy. I know you think like, oh, it's kind of crazy I don't know anything about making a model, but that's the beauty of it. You don't have to know anything. All you do is honestly adjust the sliders. Hey, 3 points, defense, whatever it is, they create a model based off that. Or if you want to just use their models, they're totally good with that as well. Tell you who Rhythm likes, T-Wolves Lakers. Rhythm likes the Timberwolves getting 5.5 points against the LA Lakers. But again, so many great trends, graphs, research, just a ton of great data. Download the Rhythm app, use the promo code SGPN25, 25% off monthly, SGPN 50 for 50% off annually. Get started today by getting your free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
All right. Defense. So as we were discussing earlier, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, you look at the history. Jared Verse, before that, Will Anderson, Sauce Gardner, Micah Parsons, Chase Young, Nick Bosa, Shaq Leonard, Marshawn Latimer, Bosa. So anyway, bottom line, you're basically getting sacks or a couple cornerbacks sprinkled in there. The Shaq Leonard year was a weird one where you had a rookie that just had a crap load of tackles. But yeah,
well, I think Shaq Leonard was one of the few guys outside the first round because he was the second round pick.
But yeah, to your point, most of these guys are pass rushers coming in with hot, and even the defensive backs are first rounders, but the pass rushers are all coming in with like top half of the first round pedigree. So you probably need to start there. Again, this is a weird year, depressed draft class and all these different categories. So there's not as many guys, and it's leading to Abdul Carter being a comical plus 250.
No value there.
No, of course not. It's same with Ashton Ginty. You can't bet that. And then Jalen Walker, 7-1.
I do like Walker's situation.
You know what I don't like about it? It's two rookies. I think there's an element of like that is a highly volatile situation. And so if anything, I would probably look to play the other guy.
And why Verse was a good pick for us last year is you come in and they already have like a pretty good defensive line and he can play with those guys. Right. So
and a good offense
and that puts you in some good situations. The Falcons, your point, Ryan, they're probably going to be starting two rookies on the defensive line. That's not ideal.
I mean, Jimmy Lake, we're going back to that point. Like we don't trust him still. We're not going to just start trusting him this year. Yeah. I would cross him off the list. So Travis, CJ, anything to add on Walker? Or Pierce is 16-1, by the way.
Pierce, I like.
Okay.
At 16-1.
So you would take the longer odds.
I would definitely take the longer odds. And he has a year ago, he was projected to be like a top 3 pick. I mean, he has an incredible talent. He just didn't produce it a lot. We got to look out for those guys because those guys are like, they get bored in college almost, you know what I mean? And there's a little narrative there where the Falcons traded up to get him and they got ripped for it.
Big
for giving up a first round pick for getting
by the
him.
Rams. Speaking of Verse,
absolutely. So you're talking about opportunity. Yeah, not the best to have 2 rookies starting, but he has opportunities to rack up 8, 9, 10 sacks. Well, that would get the job done.
And in fairness, the Rams situation also had 2 rookies out there.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
Sure,
and a second-year guy. So I guess it.
Good
makes
point.
sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Just in my mind, they were.
I'm still not interested.
Okay, I like Pierce as a talent.
And I also wonder, like, you're going to be able to run against the Falcons. So I wonder how much volume these guys will get as well. Like, will they be
playing with the lead very often?
I'm not projecting it in my models. Hunter 10-1. It seems like they're going to be full. I mean, I right now I believe he's going to be full-time offense.
Yeah. No, I don't want any part of the defense.
All right. Michael Williams.
Yeah, 11-1 for the 49ers. Salah's back. You're playing on the opposite side of Bosa. This is the case for it. I want a little longer odds though.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get as many sacks as is required. Shamar Stewart 12-1.
Another beast, but
he's kind of interesting because he comes with the traits. I don't know. I would say he fits the modeled because he's like a 5-star traits based guy that fell because he didn't produce.
Yeah, give me Stewart, especially.
Okay.
New defensive coordinator, defense is decent. You know, and you're playing if the Bengals offense is good, you're playing with the lead. You might have a chance to rack up some sacks
with Trey Henderson. I'm in on the Bengals this year, so I was already like I'll ride on this one before.
Probably lowest price I'll take.
Mason Graham 12-1 interior guy. Very difficult to do that. Can you name the last interior guy to do that, Sean?
No.
You should be able to do this. You should be able to do this.
Fletcher Cox,
Aaron Donald.
Okay.
Aaron Donald. I think it's tough to do that, right?
Yeah, he's not Aaron Donald.
Mike Green, probably not because of the narrative, right?
Bad narrative.
I still can't believe that they still have Justin Tucker on their roster and they're like, fuck it, let's make it a party.
Well, they did an investigation, a thorough Baltimore Raven investigation, not as thorough as the NFL investigation on the prank call, but still they went down there and they got the dirt and everything's fine. We talked to Virginia, it's fine and dandy.
Eagles didn't take them. It must not be that way.
Well, the Ravens have a brand.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they also had Ray Lewis on the team at one point.
Ray Lewis, Ray Rice, Tucker. I mean, it's the whole thing. But they have a no tolerance policy when it comes to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, exactly. Jahad Campbell.
And no, absolutely not.
So I went a little deeper on the
injury.
injury.
Come on.
It does seem like he's certainly going to miss off-season stuff.
Yeah, which usually, if you're a rookie, I think he will contribute later on the season.
Sure.
But he's a linebacker.
it'll
The
probably
volume
be
stat.
When was the last off the ball linebacker to get a rookie?
Well,
of the
but I
year
think
award?
they might use him as an edge rusher, and that's how you could get it.
Mm.
And you're in the Vic Fangio defense, which is dominant.
Listen, I love
and
him.
you
Shaq Leonard would be the answer to the question.
and you have your line. You have other guys that are going to draw a ton of attention on that defensive front that could create some easy opportunities for you to rack up some
Luke
sacks.
Kuechly before that.
Okay.
I won't do it just because, to Kramer's point,
Positionally, it's very difficult to not have the whole season. If he doesn't play the whole season,
well, but we see this all the time where, like, if you don't do the full off season as a rookie, you're a slow starter. I still think it's going to end up being a good pick, but I'm not playing him rookie of the year.
all right, we already talked Pierce at 16-1. CJ took a piece. Jahad Barron,
Yes, sir.
20-1.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
This is based on.
You have a very good defense with the Broncos. Now, I think Greenlaw just ruptured his hamstring. I don't know, doing something in training, but you're playing on the opposite side of Patrick Surtain. So
Kind of. He's just more of a slot guy.
Okay. But I'm saying you're playing in the same secondary as Patrick Surtain. So teams are not going to want to throw on Patrick Surtain. That's going to create some opportunities for you to get interceptions, knock down passes. Like, I like this a lot.
I feel like we have to go through another year of Bo Nix with you. Is that what's going on here?
No,
we're not leaving us behind.
I think the Broncos are going to be decent this year.
Of course, the defense is loaded for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to pass rushers only.
Yeah.
Ezeraku
I'll take some of this around
on the Cowboys.
Oh,
he was
CJ.
He was a steal though. I mean,
I know.
It is
So
annoying.
annoying.
It is annoying. I don't. The whole Cowboys draft. I didn't even bring up Jaden Blue for the offense, for crying out loud. He could be the starter, but
No, I can't do it.
I can do Ezra. He's just a beast. I love him. I
I
hate the Cowboys, but yeah.
Walter Nolan.
Mm.
I mean, interior guy.
Right.
Impossible.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. I don't know how many sacks he's going to
Malachi Starks.
Good pick though for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Safety. That's pretty tough. You're gonna have to do a lot with that. Harrison, the cornerback for the Bills, 30-1. And instead of reading off guys at this point, any other dudes stand out?
I have 151.
Oh, let's go.
Okay.
I mean, this is what this show's all about, right?
Yes.
Come on, this is what you want to look back for. I don't want to look back from your 12-1 play there and talk about that.
It feels like you're talking shit.
I'm not talking shit. I congratulate you on the win and for bringing it up.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me about my win.
Princely Umalaman for 150-1. I mean, Carolina drafted two edge rushers. They're both great, but this one's at the better odds at 150-1. Princely, not Prince. Princely.
Princely Uman Milan.
Yes, Uman Milan.
Is that right?
Correct. They drafted him and Nick Scorton both to play the edge. So, they'll rotate him. He was a third. He went to Ole Miss. They're both great as first round talented edge rushers, Scorton and Princely.
Yeah.
So, what's Scorton's price? Can't even see him.
He's on there somewhere.
But these are two rookies that will be getting a lot of rotation.
Scorton's 35-1.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty wide variance.
I'm with CJ just because, to your point, the Packers or the Panthers. I still
They
go
don't
back.
have much there.
I still go back to last year where the beat reporter goes when asked about what they were going to do at pass rush, he goes, "Well, there's always the waiver wire," which was a sign that their season wasn't going to be that good, and defense was horrible.
Yeah.
And so Princely has a chance to go in and get some sacks.
That's what I
right
mean.
away.
Just rack up some sacks. They're supposed to draft defense number 8. They went with McMillan, but then they went all defense after that. So Princely and Corton, like I said, 8 to 10, 12 sacks, that can get it done.
This is a wild price.
That's what I mean. That's what I was saying.
This price implies he's not going to get enough reps.
And how do they know this? This is crazy. He was a 3rd round pick and he's got a 1st round grade.
Also, same kind of, are they going to play with the lead much?
Yeah, but I mean, And you know, what I mean, in offense, they'll have plenty of opportunities to get sacks. No one's running the ball 60 times on anyone just because they're having the lead on them. And with Carolina's offense, you're damn right they'll be playing with the lead.
Any interest in?
He's a 77th overall pick. I don't think he should be 150 to 1.
That's fair.
No, just the situation of the Carolina Panther or the Panthers pass rush. If you get 8 sacks and no one else has a dominating season, you're certainly in the mix. I like this mix. I got a crazy long shot courtesy of CJ. I got Jahade Barron and Shamar Stewart.
I feel like we kind of started the whole segment though, just harping on how the long shot is fool's errand in the defensive rookie of the year market.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That being said, 150 to 1.
Well, I'll be your fool. I'll be your.
I mean, Ryan, for a guy who is Tootin at 200 to 1.
Well, that's offense.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about why
and
this year
Tootin's going to be a lock.
No, we talked about this year why we want to play variance because we think it's a mess.
All right.
It's 150 to 1. I thought you were pro fun.
How many? What do I have on?
Now, what are you going to get mad about some crank calls I made years ago?
This is perfect, Sean. Last year I played one defensive rookie of the year ticket at 12 to 1.
Yes.
This year I'm going to play one defensive rookie of the year ticket at 12 to 1.
Simple enough.
Maybe I'll find a way to get a homer play on Darius Alexander at 75 to 1.
CJ's got to go. He's got a study hall.
Yeah.
he's got study hall. He's got to turn his paper in. The CJ, the bell hasn't even rung and you're already collecting your papers.
I keep it tight. It's a someone did give me an over under when I lose it on the school bus there.
Oh, what was the over under? A week?
Yeah, a week and a half.
Oh boy, that's almost disrespectful.
All right. Good times as always. Make sure you subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs with CJ Sullivan, YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Toss us a nice rating review if you listen on Spotify, 5 stars, Apple Podcasts, those reviews. Always appreciate those. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Tell a buddy. Let's get it going. Football season already here. We got some Derby stuff coming up later this week, Ryan. Kentucky Derby, a little UFL, a little more NFL, maybe some bonus NBA picks, all that and much more. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Tugboat tootin'.
Kramer. Let it ride.
I'm having Chase on Wednesday.
Oh, let's go.
For some Derby talk.